Today, the 22nd of March 2014, on humansairfree.com, Eyewitnesses Testify. Pope Francis raped and killed children. Sealed Vatican documents expose the satanic rituals. New paragraph. 5 judges and 27 jury members from 6 countries, including the USA, considered evidence on over 50,000 missing Canadian, U.S., Argentine and European children who were suspected victims of an international child sacrificial cult referred to as the Night Circle. New paragraph. 2 adolescent women claimed that Pope Francis raped them while participating in child sacrifices. 8 eyewitnesses confirmed the allegations according to evidence presented this week at a Brussels Common Law Court of Justice. New paragraph. The Ninth Circle satanic child sacrifice rituals were said to take place during the springs of 2009 and 2010 in rural Holland and Belgium. Pope Francis was also a perpetrator in satanic child sacrifice rites while acting as an Argentine priest and bishop, according to records obtained from the Vatican archives. New paragraph. A prominent Vatican official and former Vatican Curia employee obtained the sealed documents for use by the court. This was not the first time satanic activities were suspected to be at the Vatican, according to this ABC News story. www.abnews.go.com. New paragraph. Another witness was set to testify that they were present during Pope Francis' meetings with the military junta during Argentina's 1970s dirty war. According to the witness, Pope Francis helped traffic children of missing political prisoners into an international child exploitation ring run by an office at the Vatican. New paragraph. Evidence of a Catholic Jesuit order document called the Magisterial Privilege was presented in court by the chief prosecutor. The record, dated December 25, 1967, was said to show that every new pope was required to participate in Ninth Circle satanic ritual sacrifices of newborn children, including drinking the blood. Documents from Vatican secret archives presented to court clearly indicate that for centuries the Jesuits had a premeditated plan to ritually murder kidnapped newborn babies and then consume the blood, the chief prosecutor told the 5 international judges and 27 jury members. The plan was born of a twisted notion to derive spiritual power from the lifeblood of the innocent, thereby assuring political stability of the papacy in Rome. These acts are not only genocidal but systemic and institutionalized in nature. Since at least 1773, they appear to have been performed by the Roman Catholic Church, Jesuits and every pope. New paragraph. 2 witnesses claimed that as children they were at child sacrifices with the former Pope Joseph Ratzinger. Since at least 1962, Ratzinger participated in child sacrifices as a member of the Knights of Darkness, according to the Vatican records presented at court. Ratzinger was an SS chaplain's assistant at the German Ravensbrück concentration camp during World War II. New paragraph. The children to be killed were supplied from prisoners at the death camp. The Nazi Waffen-SS Division Knights of Darkness was established by Hitler in 1933 and embraced ancient pagan occult beliefs in human sacrifice. Survivors of these rituals describe newborn babies being chopped to pieces on stone altars and the remains consumed by participants, the chief prosecutor said. During the 1960s, the survivor witnesses were forced to rape and mutilate other children and then cut the throats with ceremonial daggers. New paragraph. According to witnesses, Pope Francis, former Pope Joseph Ratzinger, Jesuit Superior General Adolfo Pachon and Anglican Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby were participants in the Ninth Circle satanic child sacrifice cult, rape and killing of children. New paragraph. Evidence also could link to cult ceremonies. UK High Court Justice Judge Fulford. Members of the British royal family including Prince Philip, Dutch Cardinal Alfrink, Dutch Queen Wilhelmina, her family and consort King Hendrik, Belgian royals and Bilderberger founder Crown Prince Bernhard. New paragraph. Documentation of the Canada Gazette issue number 232, December 26, 1942. Ottawa was also presented to court. Evidently and unfortunately, the Canadian government and Privy Council office in London granted to the Dutch royals exception from all criminal, civil and military jurisdiction. What would make these global leaders exempt from justice? New paragraph. The chief prosecutor presented alleged links between the British, Dutch and Belgian royal families to disappearances of Mohawk children at Canada's Church of England's Brantford, Ontario Indian Residential School. In 2008, a child mass grave site was discovered at the Mohawk School. An ITCCS dig by archaeologists was shut down when remains of a small child was uncovered. New paragraph. Since then over 30 child mass grave sites have been located at Indian residential schools across Canada. The Catholic and Anglican churches, United Church of Canada, Canadian government and Crown of England have refused ITCCS repeated requests for excavation of the mass grave sites. Quote start. This week conclusive evidence was presented that the Catholic Church is perpetrating ongoing crimes against children, the chief prosecutor stated. The Catholic Church is the world's largest corporation and appears to be in collusion with governments, police and courts worldwide. Quote end. New paragraph. The Ninth Circle satanic child sacrifice cult was said to operate at Roman Catholic cathedrals in Montreal, New York, Rome and London, according to evidence filed in court. New paragraph. Witnesses claimed child sacrifices took place at Carnarvon Castle in Wales, an undisclosed French chateau, and at Canadian Catholic and Anglican Indian residential schools in Kamloops, British Columbia and Brantford, Ontario. The Ninth Circle satanic child sacrifice cult was believed to use privately owned forest groves in the U.S., Canada, France and Holland. New paragraph. Yesterday the 5 international magistrates adjourned court for 2 weeks and considered continuing in closed sessions. This week's closed court was held in an undisclosed location due to notification that the Vatican had released a Jesuit hit squad to disrupt proceedings.
Subscribe.